What's going on today, guys? It's been a minute since I posted a video, but we're back working on the two-wheel drive K5 today. We're going to be solving the power steering lines. I decided to run just factory lines for a 77 K5 Blazer, and I'll be running an adapter to make the metric pump work. So that way I can go to any parts store, hopefully just grab a hose off the shelf if I have any issues, and put it on, we'll be good to go. Should be a little bit cheaper than building custom hoses or running like custom -6 hoses. So this way, like I said, go to any parts store, grab the hose if you need it, and you can get back on the road. All right, we're gonna get to it, guys. So there are two different types of hoses. Your LS power steering pump is gonna be this hose right here, the metric end. It is O-ringed, it's got a little, I don't know, just protrudes out a little bit. And then your inverted flare, which will be, I think, your pre-80s gearboxes, and this will be your post. So to solve the problem of having the pre-80s gearbox, I went with this adapter fitting from Dirty Dingo. It'll screw right into the back of your power steering pump, and then your inverted flare will seal it right here. This was the most expensive part, being $20 off Amazon. I put all the part numbers down in the description, and I think these are both Gates brand hoses. As far as the return line, which is just trim to fit, cut the hose off, clamp it, and then this is just a standard 77, 78, somewhere around there, pressure line for a K5 Blazer. So I'm going to go ahead and get these installed, and we'll see how they turn out. Probably won't be the best view down in there, guys, but I'll do the best I can. I'm going to install the adapter fitting. I've already put a little bit of a, just basically Lucas transmission slip stop on it to kind of lube up the O-ring. You can use trans fluid, power steering fluid, anything should work. You're just going to thread it into the back of your pump, and it is a 3/4 inch wrench. So I've got my little shorty, stubby, whatever you want to call it. We'll just tighten it up till we bottom out, give it a little extra torque. Try to get down in there where I can get you a better look. It's going to thread right in to the back of the pump. Kind of hard to get a good view of it. And then you can start running your pressure hose. I've always found it easier to kind of start the pressure hose at the back of the pump first. Kind of wrestle it around, get the thread started. You don't want to tighten it up all the way just yet until you figure out how you're going to run it into your pump. So that way you can see we've got it threaded into the adapter fitting. Our pressure line is going to be this first port, which there should be a hold down, or there was from factory. It goes into this hole. We'll mess with that later. I might have to go to the junkyard, grab one, but we're going to get this threaded into the pump real fast. Sorry about my garage being such a mess. My garage door is actually broke right now. The spring broke, so I can't get anything up, get anything in or out. So we're going to start threading our fitting into our pump. Might take a little bit of finessing to get her to start. There we go. So now that that's started, kind of make sure it's not contacting anything. Like where it's at. The back connection to the pump is actually a 16 millimeter. So you go ahead and snug that up. Shouldn't have to lube it or anything. It's a flare fitting, it'll just seal. If you're having trouble with it sealing, I've always found you can just kind of loosen off, tighten up, loosen off, tighten up to get that flare to seal properly. And then this is just the factory, what they recommend, like Rock Auto. This is the part number that comes up for gates. Like I said, they're all down in the description, which is not gonna fit near as good as like a factory one would, where they both connect down here. So you could probably just go to your local pick apart, grab a return line off of a pre-80, 80s or pre-80, and then you could just replace your hose where it won't leak and you'll be good to go. So we're just gonna go ahead and get these started. At least enough where it'll hold itself. Maybe. My fingers will work. Then we can kind of find out how tight of a bend we can make, which I would like to try to bend that down a little more, 90 if I can. But probably cut it off right about there. Once I get this loose, I'm gonna go cut this hose and I'll be right back and we can install this. So then you'll just slip your line over your return hose on your pump. Now instead of so once you slip your return line or your hose over your return line on your pump, you can put your hose clamp on there. Mine's actually a really tight fit. There we go. Now here's something that I like to do that's a little different. I've been using these PEX clamps. They're a little bit cleaner as far as you're not gonna hurt yourself with a regular old hose clamp, cut yourself. They're a little bit cleaner, in my opinion. They're pretty well easy to use. You have to have a special set of pliers for it, but other than that, it's really your only. They're not too bad. You can get them off Amazon relatively cheap. They make a better set, which I wish I would have bought, where you can clamp you from the side. So if you're in a tight little area like I am right now, you don't have to struggle to get your pliers in there. And then you just, like so, and then your return line is done. You can see nothing's contacting any of the pulleys. Contacting my proportioning block a little bit, but I can kind of push that out of the way, probably clamp it down using this hole. Won't have any issues there. And then my pressure and my return are done with my LS swap using factory hoses for a K5 Blazer. Pre-80 using inverted flares instead of the metric. Dirty Dingo metric adapter. Then if you ever have like an issue where a hose breaks, go to the parts store, fix it if you're on the road. No issues. Instead of having to try to have custom hoses made or order another $200 set off of, say, Speed Engineering or something like that. So, well guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it's been so long since I've posted, but been kind of unmotivated. Any of the work I have done, I've just done off camera. Working on getting the firewall insulated. Got my brake booster, proportioning valve, and master insulator all installed. Got my hoses ran. Did what y'all recommended. Got rid of the hard line going to the carb, so it's now flex. Still using -6 fittings. Got to figure out somewhere to mount the transmission once I get my vintage air block off plate and everything installed. Vintage air is on order. It's on back order, I think 6 weeks or so. So I think I ordered it about a month ago. So we should be expecting that pretty soon. I'll do a pretty in-depth tutorial on how to install that. I'll do it step by step. Might be a lot of videos. They'll be pretty short for the most part. Some will be a little longer. And then we'll be doing the install of the American Auto Wire complete replacement harness. And then once we get all that ran, we should be able to fire up before long. Fuel tanks in, fuel pumps in, transmission, everything. So basically, we're just waiting on a few parts to slap together, and we'll be starting her up before long and hopefully be able to drive it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one, guys.